Welcome to the Big Mountain College Football Podcast, where you will find a fresh take on college football betting focused on the Big Ten and the Mountain West.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. I'm JY. This is my good friend Steve. Tonight, we're going to be talking about our notes on the over and under win totals. I wanted to share them with you guys, and we're going to be focusing on the Big Ten West this evening. Steve's actually going to be calling every team in the Big Ten, both East and West, and start with the West tonight. He's got bigger balls than me. I only did 3 teams. He's going to do everybody. So let's get started here. We're going to start with Wisconsin. And right now, FanDuel has Wisconsin with the over-under at 8.5. So how are we feeling about Wisconsin, Steve?
I love the over on that. I personally have them at 10-2. They went out and hired a great coach in Luke Fickell. Got him from Cincinnati. He's a college football playoff coach. He's I think immediately he becomes one of the top coaches in the Big Ten West. So I love that over at 10-2.
Great, awesome. Let's go to Iowa next. I know you love Iowa. Their over under right now on FanDuel is 8.5. How are we feeling with 8.5?
Well, all Penn State fans just love Iowa. We're looking forward to hosting them for the whiteout game this year.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So, so like you said, FanDuel has Iowa as over and under at 8.5. I'm actually going to take the over. I went through the entire schedule. I think that they just barely squeak over at a 9-3. So not super confident on that one, but I do have them over 8.5 and hitting 9 wins.
And there's the difference. He's willing to take it. I would have stayed far away from that. So props to you, Steve. So let's go to Illinois next. Illinois, over-under, according to FanDuel, is a 6.5. That seems maybe high to me, but how are you feeling about that?
I like Illinois. I really like the over pick. And in fact, that'll be my first Big Mountain ice cold lock.
Wow, okay.
It's for Illinois to hit the over 6.5. I think they could even get up to as many as 10 wins this year.
Is that right?
Yeah. So they have a great coach, great defense. They did lose some players to the NFL. I think the Washington Commanders may have selected one of their great players in the secondary. They lost some other players, but they still are expected to have a great defense. Not the greatest offense, but they have a great coach, and they're in the Mountain West, which isn't necessarily the strongest conference. So I love the over, and it's my very first ice cold lock. At over 6.5.
Well, I would agree with you if they were in the Mountain West, but they're not. They're in the Big Ten West, and still, you're the Big Ten guy. I'm not.
Yes.
So
Big Ten West, yes.
Yeah,
Big Ten West.
Yeah. I got to call you out.
Because if they were in the Mountain West, they probably would even have more.
Right, I understand that.
But yeah, so over there in the Big Ten West, a little weaker of the side. So
for sure,
love the over on that.
All right, awesome. So let's go to Minnesota, over under 7.5. How are we feeling about them? Seems like they've kind of been a little. You thought the past couple of years they were going to be awesome, and they kind of haven't been as great as people thought. So where are we going on this?
Their coach gets a lot of attention with his row the boat mantra and all that stuff, and they did have a couple good years where they had a real experienced quarterback. Like you said, the FanDuel has the over under 7.5. I can't find it. I can't see 7. Them getting over. I mean, they would have to get to 8 wins. I don't see it. So I'm taking the under. I think they get to 6-6, right, straight middle of the pack team yet again.
500 team.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's go to Nebraska next. Nebraska at an over under on FanDuel at 6.5. How are we feeling?
So here's the thing about Nebraska. They went out. They got a great coach. They had their golden child, a son of Nebraska, as their coach before. It didn't pan out, so went and got Matt Rule. NFL coach. Didn't work out in the NFL for him, but he has a proven pedigree in college football. Mm-hmm. He actually won at Temple. Who wins at Temple?
I don't know anybody.
Right. Won at Baylor. Did really well. Went to the NFL, and it's NFL is hard. It's no knock on him. But, FanDuel, like you said, they have the over and under at 6.5. It's a big task. The roster, the cupboard was kind of left bare there. I think he's a great coach. I think it's going to take him one more year to get there. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually going to take the under. I got them again at 6-6, right at 500.
Right on the cusp there, though.
Yeah, right there. Next year.
Okay. All right. How about Northwestern? They're over under, a little bit of the basement dweller here, if you will, but over under of 2.5. How are we feeling about that?
So, 2.5 is really low, right?
It's low.
It's low.
Sounds easy.
Yeah. So sounds easy to get over that 2.5. I actually think they're worse than that. I'm taking the under at 2-10. I'm not sure if you're aware they had a scandal over they lost their coach, good longtime coach. There were some problems there. They already had a challenge, their high academic profile and all those things. It was going to be challenging for them. They struggle sometimes. They kind of will alternate good year, bad year, but I see this being as a bad year.
Okay.
And I'm taking the under, and I only see them getting to 2 wins.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was the same way for the viewers that watched the Mountain West preview. There's bottom 3 teams. They're over-unders on FanDuel around the 3.5, and, I almost did some picks on them. I was struggling with putting them under. I'm more of an over guy than I am an under guy, so it takes a lot for me to go under, especially when it's something low. And 2.5 is even worse than 3.5. Yeah. But I hear you. Yeah, it's a struggle for some teams for sure. So let's get to our last team here. Purdue over under on FanDuel is a 5.5. What we got?
So you'd think the defending Big Ten West champion from last year that it would be easy for them to hit 5.5. But they lost their coach. Their coach, Braum, went back to Louisville, which is, his alma mater. They lost a lot of starters. They lost a lot of production. I think it's just going to take them a while to turn over the roster. So, like you said, FanDuel has the over-under at 5.5. This is actually going to be my second Big Mountain ice cold lock. I'm going with the under 5.5. I have them possibly being as low as 2-10 on the season.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like an ice cold lock if we're down in the 2s. So that's good stuff. So with that being said, you've kind of gone through the different teams. Who do you have right now winning the Big Ten West?
So I have Wisconsin. Wisconsin was already a very solid team. They kind of, to a lot of people's surprise, they decided to make a coaching change, and they went out and hired probably the absolute best coach available that they could get to bring in to a Big Ten West team. He is bringing a new offensive coordinator who's going to have a completely different style, it's kind of more of an air raid style, though he doesn't call it that, but they're going to throw the ball. But with Luke Fickell in there as the coach, he's a great coach, going to make great decisions. I think that team still plays some good defense. They're going to have a little bit more offense now. I have them winning the Big Ten West and playing in the championship game in Indianapolis.
All right, great. I hope you all enjoyed that. We're going to do a quick preview here or summary of the picks that Steve just gave you guys. We'll summarize that, and we're also going to make sure you guys know what his ice cold locks were. And here they are. All right, and that's it for the Big Mountain Podcast for this episode. Next, Steve's going to be giving us the over-unders for the Big Ten East. So we hope to have you back and watch that episode as well. Thanks a lot.